Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about a book, Bad Girls, by Camila Sosa Villada, and this book was originally written in Spanish, and it was translated into English by Kit Maude. So you might also find this book, the translated English version, published under a different title, which is The Queens of Sarmiento Park. And I think this edition is published in the UK and Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there are two titles available for this book, so just in case if you cannot find Bad Girls, so yeah, you have this other title. But yeah, I finished this book I think yesterday. And I read this book in April in honor of a readathon that was going on at the time, which was Trans Girl April. And I must say this book was probably one of the most beautiful books I have read recently. It is so wonderful. It is gorgeously written, in fact. The prose sort of mixes a lot of elements of magic, but also slice of life. But there is this, the sense of scope in the prose also feels sort of epic as well. And the book is written in a series of vignettes that do not necessarily follow chronological order. But overall, I think the story is just so beautiful. It is both very heartbreaking, but at the same time it is also in a way quite triumphant. So what is this book about? This book centers around a group of trans women living in a pink house located in Cordoba, Argentina. So Camila Sosa Villada is a Argentine writer, and so we have these characters, these trans women, who live in this pink house, and they live under the wing of an older trans woman named Auntie Encarna. So a few things sort of happen in this book. So one of the major things that happen is that one evening, Auntie Encarna encounters a baby that was abandoned at a park. And so she decides to take this baby and raise this baby herself alongside, with the help of the other women who live together with her. Another thing this book is also about, and this one, the plot thread is less linear, is about the occupation of these trans women. So basically, they work as sex workers, and most of the time they look for clients in a park called Sarmiento Park, which I think was also the place where Auntie Encarna found the abandoned baby. So this book pretty much tells us the story about the lives of these women, the ups and downs that they encounter, whether it is at their jobs or at their personal lives, or in their lives together as a group in that pink house. All of the good things and the bad things that happen to these people. And if you sort of magnify this story even more, really central to this book, we have kind of like a main character, a protagonist, who also narrates this whole story. So this whole book is narrated from a first person point of view of this character, and this character's name happened to be Camilla also. And in fact, her full name, this character's full name, is also Camila Sosa Villada. But this book is actually more like a novel, or rather a semi-autobiographical novel. So it kind of makes sense that the main character has that name. But yeah, if you sort of zoom in further into this book, you're gonna find that this character, Camilla, who is also a trans woman, she narrates her life alongside the lives of other women in the pink house, but she also narrates her life in great detail about how her life was before, when she was younger, living with her family, with an abusive father, with a mother who often neglected her, and how she sort of came out of that situation and finds herself eventually in this sort of found family situation together with these other women. And throughout this book, we see a lot of how these women just sort of try to live their lives in spite of how society perceives them, like how society just find them, how society always demeans them or treats them really horribly. And a lot of the tragedy that happens in this book relates to how the society around them sort of rejects them, which in turn causes their lives to be very, very bad. What I find in this book is that the tone is very mixed, but it is very emotional. You have places in this book where it feels very happy. When something is worth celebrating is being narrated, the tone is really happy. It is really celebratory. But when something bad happens, when a tragedy happens, it feels really sad. So you can sort of expect some kind of whiplash in terms of emotions in this book, which I think is really good, because it really vividly illustrates what happens to all of these characters who live in this pink house, the ups and downs of their lives, and it just makes it very very easy for you to be emotionally invested with these characters. Another thing that I get from this book, another vibe, is that this book is unflinchingly proud. More specifically, these trans women, they are very proud of who they are, in spite of what the society says about them. They are just they are proud to just live their lives the way that they want to be. And in fact, one of the most important features in this book is that these characters often refer to themselves with the word travesti, which is also a derogatory word that society in the place where they live in Argentina often use to refer to them, to demean them. But they proudly reclaim this word to sort of for them to identify themselves with, to label themselves. They just use this word, and they are very unapologetic about this. And even when it comes to how this entire book is narrated, the way that this book employs this word is also very proud. And I just think that that is just so beautiful. And honestly, it's also kind of inspiring as well. So this entire book, I think, is just a big bowl of emotions, a big bowl of different kinds of feelings in there. It also feels very cinematic, and that pretty much just amplifies a lot of the emotions that you can get, you can see in this book. And I think, yeah, that's like the strongest part of this book. The kind of emotions that it that it exudes. And I think that mostly comes from the fact that there is so much passion and also so much honesty in the way that the story is written. So yeah, I highly recommend this book. If you have the opportunity, do check it out, because I think it's just so good. But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say about this book for now. If you have read this book, let me know what your thoughts about this, or maybe you are interested in reading this book, or if you have any other comments, anything, just let me know. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'll see you again in a different one. So until then, take care. Thanks for watching, and bye.